If you got no wolves, maybe you're not sheep. Think about it. Think about it. If you don't have wolves in your lives, and don't tell me your mother-in-law is the wolf. No. That is not what the Bible is talking about. Or your credit problems, or your hemorrhoids. That's not what God is talking about. Those are not the wolves. Wolves are real people who really want to kill you and get you and destroy you for what you believe in. I began to understand when Jesus said that the day will come that the ones who will come to kill you, they will be thinking they are doing God a service. In fact, in Psalm 83, clearly what it says. Let's go back to Psalm 83. Oh, let's finish this one. Remind me to go back to Psalm 83. Look at that. Verse 8, for it is the day of the Lord's vengeance, the year of recompense for the cause of Zion. What does he do to Arabia? Verse 9, its streams shall be turned into pitch. The word streams, Hebrew is nachal, which really doesn't mean water streams like you think. It's not water streams. Nachal is torrents, mines. Look it up in the Strongs. Underground torrents or mines or tunnels will be filled with what? Pitch. What's pitch? You want to argue with that one? It'll be filled with pitch, and its dust into brimstone. Its land shall become burning pitch. It shall not be quenched night or day. Its smoke shall ascend forever. From generation to generation, it shall lie waste. Al Gore is not going to be happy when this happens. Figure that one, Al Gore. Go figure that one out. He's going to complain. He loves to complain. We say, sorry, we're ambassadors for Christ, you know, sitting in our desks in our offices. Sorry, you got to take this with the boss over there in Jerusalem. But we don't really suggest, Al, that you go to Jerusalem and confront with the boss, okay? He's not the kind of teddy bear that you thought about him in his first coming. The environmentalists, they can't do anything about it. It's going to burn forever, continually. They're not going to cap these ones. And there you have it. In Psalm 83, it talks about, and that's what really got me, you know, when I read that part. Look at this part here. It says about the Muslims, the Ishmaelites, the Hajarites, they're coming against Israel, and God will destroy them. Verse 17, let them be confounded and dismayed forever. Yes, let them be put to shame and perish. Verse 18, that they may know, the Muslims, those are Muslim countries, that they may know that you, whose name alone is the Lord, are the most high over all the earth. That the Muslims will finally recognize who God is, His name. And what is in a name? You talk to a Western mindset and you say, what's the name of the Lord? Can you tell me? Give me some examples. Come on, talk to me. What? Can you raise your hand? When everybody mats together, you know, we're all sheep, we mat together, doesn't... I want one sheep at a time. Yes. He's going to what? His name is Jehovah. What else? Lamb of God. What else? I am. But what do those mean? Lamb of God. What does it mean? You know, let's think about the word name. The way when you see name, when I see name, I got a different image in my mind than yours. His name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. That's not a name. Jesus is not from Mexico. His name is not Emmanuel. His name is Yeshua. So name doesn't mean really as you think. Name, Paul, John. His name shall be called Emmanuel, which means God with us. So the Muslims will recognize that God came in the flesh and died for the sins of mankind. They will understand the definition and the attributes of God, finally, in the end. His name shall be called Wonderful, Counselor, Mighty God, Everlasting Father, Prince of Peace. Now, what this prophecy is saying is that his name shall be called Counselor. While the world denies it, no one in the world can deny only one person had these titles. You can deny he's God, you can deny he's the Messiah, you can deny he's the Son of God, but there's one thing no one can deny, is that his name was called these things. So what is a mountain? Kingdom. So when Christ says, if you have faith of a mustard seed, you can move the mountain, right? See, Western mindset things, when Jesus says that, I'll take a little wand with a little star in the end, and I'll stand at the edge and say, move mountain, move. When was the last time you've moved mountains that way? Jesus makes sense. When he says stuff, it means something that makes sense. He really is a great communicator, but he likes to speak in a certain wavelength that few will get. They asked him, how come you speak in parables? He said, so the damned don't get it. Sounds cruel? That's your problem. But that's how he speaks. So the mountain is always a kingdom. The mountains will bow to you. Every hill will bow. Kingdoms will bow. Right? Now, that you know that mountain means kingdom, guess what? You all graduate as experts in Bible prophecy. You're laughing, but I'm not, because I'm very serious. I saw the woman, she was drunk of the blood of the saints and with the blood of the martyrs. Right? Okay. Look what it says in verse 9. He tells them in verse 7, don't worry, I'll tell you what the mystery is. In verse 9, here is the mind which has wisdom. The 7 heads are 7 mountains on which the woman sits. Now, you saw this image, how all of it is together, God destroys them. 7 mountains. What's a mountain? There are 7 heads. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not very good looking mountains, but 7 mountains, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. There are also 7 heads, right? There are also what? 7 kings. Verse 10. Ah, kings rule what? Kingdoms. So a mountain is what? Kingdom. It's not the Vatican. That's not Rome. 5 have fallen. 1 is, and the other has not yet come. Hello? Who's talking here? Who's talking? Who's writing this stuff? Thank you, John. He says 5 kingdoms fell. Where's John sitting? Which number? Number 6. John is right here. And what kingdom was John under? Rome. What was before Rome? Greece. What was before Greece? Medo-Persia. There you go with Iran again. And what was before that? Babylon, Iraq. What's going on there? Mess. Same as the statue. What was before that? Assyria. Same stuff like Babylon, included Turkey, included Syria and Iraq and all that region. All of them are Muslim. And what was before that? Egypt. Today is what? Muslim. The Lord comes in a swift cloud to fight Egypt. Isaiah 19. All the stuff in the literal applies perfectly. Americans, when they read prophecy, they go to the book of Revelation first. What they need to do is go to the prophets first in Isaiah, one by one. Now you apply the literal to the allegoric mold, and they must match perfectly. You don't go to Revelation and make Revelation, let's see, but the Bible here is talking about, let's see, Revelation, the bear, that's Russia. Let's make that one Russia, and let's make that one communism, and let's make that one whatever we want. That's why there's so much interpretation out there. So that's the 7 heads. They are all at the same time. The woman rules from the desert with her false religion. It's a city that rules this. All of them, everything, all the harlotry towards these nations is coming from the desert. Now, The woman has a cup of wine in her hand. And the kings of the earth are drunk from this wine. It has this in abundance. Okay? The abundance of her delicacies. And the earth is drunk and they wax rich as a result. Something ringing a bell in your antennas? It's both. And that oil causes also the blood of the saints to be shed. This is why in Joel 3, when you go to Joel 3, it talks about the judgment, right? When God judges the nations, what do he judge them for? In Joel 3, he tells them. Joel 3, I will gather all nations into, right? We just expressed that one. On the account of my people, my heritage, Israel. He judges the world for dividing Israel and mistreating the Jewish people. Look what it says. Verse 3, they have cast lots for my people, have given a boy as payment for a what? Harlot. What's the woman riding the beast? She's what? Harlot. She's the harlot of Babylon, the prostitute. And sold the girl for what? Wine. The prostitute and the wine is in the same verse in Joel chapter 3. And then he goes on verse 4. Indeed, what have you to do with me, O Tyre and Sidon? Lebanon, Hezbollah. Christ is on earth talking to Hezbollah, saying, who are you to mess with me? Do you think you stand a chance? That's what he's saying. And all the coasts of Philistia, Gaza, Hamas. Hamas, Hezbollah, you want to mess with me? That's what he's saying. What religion are they? Muslim. What countries are those? Muslim. You Americans created us Hamasistan over there by your Oslo Peace Accord. Thanks, but no thanks. All the kings of the earth commit harlotry with who? Are they committing harlotry with the Pope? No. Who's saying Islam is a peaceful religion? We're sorry. Even the Pope. He goes to make men's in Turkey. Sorry. You tell me what that's all about. By peace, he will deceive many. Who's telling you that Islam is a peaceful religion? All over the place. That's all they talk about. Islam is a peaceful religion. Islam was hijacked. I turned on the TV, 9/11. There were planes that were hijacked. And by the time it was all over, the officials and the politicians told us that it was Islam that was hijacked. I'm confused. Which one was hijacked? The jumbo jets or Islam? And if somebody hijacked Islam, what was the ransom? If there is a ransom, guess what? I ain't paid it. Let them hijack it. The confusion that you're living under. Everybody's believing everything's hunky-dory.